Hey, sports bettors, happy opening day, March 28th. This is Thursday. It's finally starting. Here we go with MLB, and have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And baseball is sort of my jam. Can't wait to get into all the live betting, the player prop betting, the alt markets, the derivatives, the mainline bets, and that's what I do. I teach beginner and struggling sports bettors how to use data-driven tools like OddsJam to find value and to find edges and to profit consistently with all the math and the data, as opposed to just someone watching Sports Center and thinking they know more about the sports than they do, and making lots of mistakes and losing money. So we're here to do it efficiently with actually a plan and be profitable. So we're going to go through some tools and some concepts and some heuristics of how you can do this for yourself. Do a few picks, do a few selections, give you some insights and some teachings, and do this Monday through Friday for you, so you can log in and spend a brief period of time to get educated and get elevated. So today's very unique in its opening day, and the opening day is a starting point for MLB. It's a marathon. I had worked for 6 seasons in the Chicago Cubs organization many years ago, 3 years at AAA Iowa, and then 3 years in spring training down in Arizona. And so I have sort of a behind the ropes viewpoint, behind the ropes understanding of how things work and how things operate. Now, granted, that was many years ago, but I have a different perspective. So MLB is where I like to profit, and it's definitely in phases. And so you'll notice April, May, June, July. It's a different phase, different heuristic each month. And so we're going to use the first month in April sort of to lay low, use our information, and then in May and June it's Profit City. So we'll kind of take that in phase, and I'll explain how this kind of goes throughout the season in all the markets: player prop, mainline bets, alt markets, live betting, arbs, middles, etc. So that's the first step. So next, before we get into the picks and the selections and going through all the OddsJam tools, I just want to remind you, I've set up BoydDavis.com specifically to help people that are beginners and struggling to sports bettors understand how to get the knowledge, the foundation, and the basis. And so we literally provided and created a huge course that you can view at your own leisure. It's a digital course, all the information, everything in the world you need, and that's all great. That's sort of like the textbook. And then the practicum part is actually the betting and the wagering. And so we've set up the steps, the 9 steps you need to create a betting plan. And that's what I help you with, and we create that together so that we can get you up and running very quickly, all on personal risk, personal abilities, personal goals, and things like that. So if you go to the website at BoydDavis.com, we're happy to get you set up and get consulting, help you get educated quickly. That's what it's all about, is to help you have a lot more fun when you're making money. All right, so we talked about the education piece, the coursework, the consulting, the attention to detail, and all the education, from anything from a money line to advanced betting techniques and strategies, is all in that course, as well as the consultation that we would do at the BoydDavis.com. Now, the next thing you need is tools. You absolutely have to have tools to go along with the strategies. And so the tools are OddsJam. OddsJam is a betting tool that helps you identify mathematical profitabilities from positive EV bets to make money consistently, having good closing line value, and understanding the markets and the opportunities are identified very quickly, very easily. And you have to have that. So make sure you use Boyd20, get signed up. It's going to save you 20% off your first 2 months of your new subscription, whatever subscription you go with. Whether you kind of walk, jog, and run into it, that's totally fine. But I want to give you some tools and some value along with the education. All right, so you're just getting started. You got your education, you got your betting tools. Now what? And that's going to be sports books. I'm in Colorado. We're very fortunate to have a lot of options and a lot of choices. That's what you want. You want to have a lot of choices because you can attack different markets, different times, different prices. If you have one sports book or 2 sports books, very limited, much harder to profit. Now, I'm going to tell you about 2 betting exchanges that are here in Colorado. If you're a Colorado sports bettor, you need to have Sport Trade. You need to have NoVig. They're 2 betting exchanges that are going to help you function and be more profitable for many reasons, which we'll get into a little bit later. But you want to have as many sports books as you can for diversity, for pricing, for options, for choices to dilute your bets out, and for a lot of reasons to be able to profit at a higher level. But get signed up for Sport Trade, get signed up for... All right, guys, here we go. We're at the positive expected value page at OddsJam, and basically this is one of the main stops you're going to spend a lot of time at for many reasons. And let me show you here on the left-hand side, you have the positive EV edge, the market edge. So certainly the higher the better, the bigger the number, the percentage is very valuable. You're also looking at market width, which is a confidence level, so to speak, in the markets. Depending on the type of market you're looking at, obviously you want this number as low as possible, just because it gives you a higher indicator of the confidence level. So again, we're pitting Pinnacle versus Tipico. Tipico is a very, very public sports book. They actually have limited me here in Colorado, so it's very, very frustrating, but I do highly recommend using them and having them in your repertoire. Now, this is first half total runs on the under 3.5 Blue Jays Rays game. So let's open this market up and take a look. Again, this is how you can use the tool to track and trace value relative to what's going on. So you can see here plus 140 is the best price in the market. And let's check out the direction. I always like to look at Pinnacle's direction and see kind of what they're doing. They were at plus 138. They've dropped down to plus 107. So clearly they've had some money coming in going that direction. I always like to find the money momentum, and the money momentum is going this direction. It's basically saying it's going the opposite of this side. Okay, so let's open this chart up and show you that, yeah, it's going the other direction. So they were at minus 160. Now they're down at minus 126. So this would be a huge, good play to start off the season with. You know, you're gonna get the better value, the better price, and even at plus 132, that's not bad at FanDuel. So you're playing the under 3.5 first half total runs. I also like the derivatives or the alt markets. An alt market is just this. It's not a mainline bet like a run line or a money line or a total. It's actually a broken up kind of a component of the actual game, and you can find good values. Find some great value in this. So again, if you can get Tipico plus 140 here in Colorado, go play that. FanDuel's probably more common around the country. Plus 132, still a positive EV bet. You're still, doing good on value. So that would be the first play that I would go hit. You can add this to your bet tracker once you input it. Let's say you put the number in here. Let's say you put in $50, and it's going to add it to your bet tracker, which you can use later for research. And away you go on to the next one. So we'll hit close and go on to take a look at the next bet, 2.89. I usually start from top to bottom. Now, certainly if you scroll down, you're going to see a boatload of bets. So for me, when I come on in the mornings here like this and give you 3 or 4 or 5, 6 bets, it takes a while to record and put out there. But you can see there is a boatload of picks, a boatload of selections you can go through. And really what you can do is set up the filters. You can set up this tool to have the filters of your specific sports books that you want. If you hit this play button, this data will come in constantly. So it's cool because it comes in nonstop constantly, but sometimes you have to hit pause so you can take a timeout and place the bets, place the wagers, or open them up, because this is a scenario here where you might get a scenario where the pricing is something that you don't want to get into, and I try to give you here's a good example. This minus 220 plus 205. I really don't want to get into something that's this high, minus 220 or plus 205. I like to stay in the plus 150 to minus 150 or under. My sweet spot, I would say, is something around minus 110, minus 120, minus 125. So, it helps you shop quickly. I also like to make sure I'm pitting an odds-making book like Pinnacle, a market-making book like Pinnacle, with a public book. So when you have two public books kind of going at it like 365 and Rivers, it's sort of like two idiots arguing over the same thing. When you have a public book like FanDuel going up against Pinnacle, this is a situation I like. We're going to open this one up. Again, this is how you hunt. This is how you use the tools. You're seeing here under 137. Well, they're going the other direction now. So they're minus 164. They're going down. So the other side of this would be the bet. The other side of this with plus 132 would be the play. Because, again, they were up at 137. They're down to plus 119. The money is momentum flowing this direction. And again, trusting Pinnacle, trusting the sharpest sports book in the world, is what you're going to do to pit the other ones against each other. So it seems like FanDuel's asleep at the wheel here on this one. And again, you could go in, put your bet amount. If you didn't want to go with the recommended bet size, that's how you would do it. You don't have to use the bet size and the bet amount. This is a recommendation based on the Kelly criterion. So it's mathematically saying that based on your, let's say, a $5,000 betting amount, you would wager $150 based on the market edge and based on your risk factors. So you set that all up in the settings piece here. So again, this video is to show you the concepts and the tools of how you can function on your own and do this on your own. I just try to give you tips and information on how to hunt. How to hunt. Here's another good one. I like this. You got Pinnacle going up against FanDuel. You have a nice market width. You got over 4.5. I've also seen, the odds screen showing some good value on Baltimore today. So we're going to take a look here and see that the market is, sort of going this other direction, minus one set. Yeah, so it's going minus 126 coming this way. And again, you can try to find value here at maybe minus 130 with Bet365, or you go the other direction at plus 120. Again, a little bit tight still, so I'd probably leave this one alone. But if anything, I probably would, stay away just because I'm not seeing as much value potentially as I'd like. So that's the other thing you can do is pass. You don't have to play these games. You get a choice to, take advantage of them or not. Here you have Circus. Circus is a very, very sharp sports book going up against Tipico. I like that. This minus 2.5 run line with the Diamondbacks over the Rockies. Let's open this one up. You see a 1.48% edge. We're going to scroll up here and give you a little better view. But you can see the circuit charts will not show up because they just don't share data. So the charts are going to show up more with Pinnacle and some of the other books. You can see here the minus 174. It's gone down a bit there. Nothing major. I also will show you the Novig line. Novig is a betting exchange here in Colorado. I'm going to leave the links and everything below. You can see their price has gone that direction. So you have a lot of momentum on the price going there. Betting exchanges are typically sharper sports bettors because they don't have limits. They have a lot of other benefits to having betting exchanges. So it's a peer-to-peer exchange. And so Novig showing their price going from the minus 174 to the minus 184 on this minus 2.5. So it seems like the Diamondbacks would be in line for a big blowout win today. So that's kind of what I'm seeing and reading on that. Now, the next page I want to show you and talk to you about is the low hold page. Low hold is when you have equal numbers on both sides. This is really, really close to zero. So the minus 225 plus 223 should be minus 225 plus 225 to get right to zero. So anytime you have a slight percent difference in price is what you're going to see. I love using this because I can, again, pit a market-making sports book versus a public sports book. So let's open up this. This is actually an NHL game. We got a little bit of this mixed in with our baseball. Got some NHL action going. You can see here some of the Reds Nationals game. But you can again pit this Pinnacle line with the MGM, very, 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 very public sports book to use against themselves. We're going to open this up and show you that the Pinnacle line plus 131, is showing the direction of going this way, saying this is the sharper side. This minus 196. Holy cow! Go pick this one up at ESPN bet at minus 135. Look at the air, minus 196. Are you shitting me? Player strikeouts. Josiah Gray under 5.5. Go get this bet right now. You can see this big time. Wow, I'm surprised this pricing is still available. Minus 130, minus 120 at Fanatics. So this is how you use the tool, guys. This is what you're doing. This is how you're hunting. This is how you're finding positive EV. You're taking the market-making sports books. You're pitting them against the public knucklehead sports books because of the pricing. So would you rather trust and be on their side of things? They clearly do not want any more bets coming in on this under. They're like, fuck you, go away. Minus 196. Pay that price. The sharps don't do it, so they'll go pick on somebody down in here. Boom, right? Boom. I'd get on this one right away. All right, guys, another tool you can use at OddsJam is the odds screen. So you go to MLB. Here's the main markets. Again, main markets are money line, run line, which is sort of like point spread in baseball, and totals. And you can also get into some alt markets like first inning totals, things like that. The other markets, all of them are right in here. Holy shit, look at all these markets. Markets. I mean, you have player props. You have every bit of information you possibly need with all the markets. You can set this up in your settings as far as sports books. There's about 200 sports books. I have 16. I went just over the level of 15, so I can do the fastest speed. But I have the ones here that I want to get data points from or am able to use here in Colorado, or the ones I like to use. So you can set that up accordingly. Here again, you have your Novig, your betting exchange here in Colorado. Circa, Pinnacle is the sharp sports books I use to compare against the public sports books as far as price. You see here the red and the green. This is a price change. So anytime you see the red, literally 39 seconds ago, this price was at minus 105. Now it's at minus 110. What does that tell you? It tells you that the price is gradually going up, gradually going towards the over. So right now, the best price, the best odds is over 7.5 at FanDuel, minus 105. That's what gives you the best juice, the best price, the best odds right in here. So you can keep your eye on that. Now, what I also like to do is, let's say, for example, in the money line, let's run over to that market real quick. All right, so money line is basically the payout. So if you'd have to risk $100 to win 156. That just changed again. You see that number just literally changed. If you risk 170 to win 100, that's the favorite. Baltimore's clearly favored. So in that case, why would you risk 170 here when you maybe could go get it at minus, well, you couldn't get it at 157. The best price is minus 167. But this is what OddsJam does, shows you the best price. It also shows you the direction of the market relative to kind of what's going on when it first opened. So it dropped down, went down to minus 190. They've had a lot of buyback. This is kind of scary. So if you're on the Baltimore side, it's a little bit scary only because this 30-cent move back towards the Angels side is a little bit concerning. So that's something to know. You can also see the price and the timeline and the history here when it opened up. So at 6 a.m. this morning, you started to see a drop. You started to see some of the buyback over on the Anaheim side, on the Angels side. And so it's something to know, again, relative to the full game. You can do first half is the first 5 innings. I like to do that because you're eliminating a lot of the bullpens. So sometimes you get in the first half money line bets. That's good. And you see some different odds here. This is the first half is a bet that I like just because, again, I'm eliminating the bullpens. Typically, I'm getting into the starting pitchers and minimizing, eliminating some of the fray that you come into in the latter part of the game. You might have a team up 6-3 through 7.5, 8 innings. Next thing you know, the bullpen comes in and just shits all over themselves, and you have a loss. So I like to break it up into components. That'd be a piece of advice I'd like to share and to use. Again, you can go in here and check out the market direction, the market price of these games. And so some of the books will show you a little bit circuit, not much. Some of the sports books will show you quite a bit. You can also definitely use the OddsJam lines here because you're going to see market direction here with that. And you see a lot more data points and a lot more information to help you out. So again, this is just good, valuable information to identify what direction the market's going. If you're late and you missed out on it, or if you're early and you want to get in, it's going to help you determine mathematically good decisions by using the odds screen to monitor value. And you can see it pop up in real time, as you saw with the red and the green color codings telling you direction, so you get an insight quickly before the other books change. All right, guys, I know there's a long video, lots of information, tons of information. That's kind of where we are here at opening day starting off. But we're going to be going forward with an MLB market report in the mornings, Monday through Friday. Make sure you join the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Get the alerts when we have new content coming out. Most times it's going to be in the mornings, just like this. So, again, if you have any questions, please let me know down below. Also, make sure you check out OddsJam. Get yourself signed up so you can have the tools to make these decisions and get this done on your own. If you don't have the tools, it's tough to succeed, so get that done. All right, guys, appreciate you stopping by. Let's go make some mathematical money.